Morning, Sil. Afternoon, Bill.
Morning, all.
One of you is definitely looking more sprightly than the other this morning.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you don't even have to go ride 4 horses, Bill. You get to watch them on the TV.
Yeah, exactly.
You just have to pick the right ones, is it?
Yeah. Oh dear. Right, let's get straight into York, the Friday, the Nunthorpe. What a race, and who better to have on the line than yourself, Sil? Because you ride probably the most exciting young sprinter in the country, looking to take on the sprinter of a generation. And they bet 1-2, 5-2 for Tash Art Power. How good is he, Sil? And how good can he be?
And every time I rolled him, and I never got to the bottom of him, you know. And he has been an improving horse from day one this year, and obviously has done nothing wrong. But Batash obviously is very good. But I just hope this could be my turn. He get a lot. He's get a lot of weight and off the other horse, and a sprint it does matter, a difference of weights and. But we have to consider Batash is a proven multiple Group 1 winner. So we chasing the dream, but I think I give the run for his money.
Bill, it was Del Boy who said, Rodney, you've got to have a dream, because if you don't have a dream, how can you have a dream come true?
Absolutely. Yeah.
One of the great lines in British TV. Bill, Batash, the one chink in his armour was his inconsistency. He got beaten in Nunthorpe in 2017, 2018. And then in typical Batash style, he broke the track record and won it by 4 lengths last year. Do you think he's the best sprinter we've seen for 20 years or so? And do you think he'll keep that?
He's right up there. I mean, the challenge with this race, the question mark over Batash in the build-up for this race was always going to be the ground. With rain around, a thought of a soft ground Nunthorpe brought Art Power, or brings Art Power right into it. Like Sil says, he hasn't got to the bottom of him yet. He's a rapidly improving 3-year-old. He only gets 2 pounds. I always thought the 3-year-olds got more than that, but only gets 2 pounds. So there isn't that much between them in the weights. The reality is that Sil will have his work cut out. If the ground dries out anywhere near good, he's going to have his work cut out to catch Batash. Any rain, there's plenty of wind and bad weather around. Every bit of rain will help Art Power, who's got very, very solid form. Won at the track last year, York, arguably his best performance. So handles York, handles soft ground. He will be the one that troubles Batash. But if it's good ground, you are taking on one of the best sprinters of his generation.
Well, Sil, from myself and every bookmaker in the land, I wish you all the best of luck. And from every punter in the land, I'm sure they'll hope you'll come second. But what a race it's going to be. And then to see the young horse taking on the older champion, that's what we all want to see and what makes racing so exciting. And if we nip back to the second race, the undercard, we've got the Gym Crack over 6 furlongs. These exciting 2-year-olds. You ride Mystery Smiles for Andrew Balding, who's won a couple of races at Windsor and Chester. It was impressive at Chester. The favourite was Zamani that day. There was money from all morning, and you overturned him. What can you tell us about Mystery Smiles?
His first debut at Windsor, he won very impressive to me, And we thought he'd come on, and he has come on. He went to Chester, and I felt he won. He didn't have a hard time, but he could have won much easy if he handled the track better. And we like the horse. He's a newcomer. He has done nothing wrong. He won. He had 2 runs, 2 winners. And I think he's in the right race. And I think he should be in the first 3 favourite.
Yeah, I think, Bill, 9-1 on the card.
Yeah,
looks quite big, doesn't it?
He is a big price. I mean, the 2 horses at the top of the market, Minzal and Minzal was impressive last time, having finished behind Mohawk King. Mohawk King obviously had the 1 run at Ascot and ran really well. It's a really wide open race. I think Sil's horse, Mystery Smiles, definitely has a chance. My only concern with him was that both times he's been niggled and pushed to, whether it's him handling the track or whatever. Whether a fast run on decent ground, 6 furlongs, is going to see him at his best, I'm not so sure. I thought, for me, if I was to play in the race, you better believe it, Nigel Tinkler's horse, I thought was kind of overpriced around at 7-8 to 1. I think it's a trainer thing. I think if this horse was trained by a Haggis or a Hannon, he'd be half the price he is. This is a horse that won the National Stakes at Sandown last time. Step Up and Trip's a question mark, but if you watch those two performances, the Doncaster win and the Sandown win, he did it very, very easily. Travelled strongly on the bridle. He's the second highest rated in the race. Yazaman's the highest rated, but he seems to find ways to throw races away. I think you better believe it. Around 7 to 1 would be the one for me.
We've got two there at prices, 7 to 1 and 9 to 1 in what looks a wide open race. So let's go back now, the 145, and you team up with David Ellsworth. Good old David, and you ride Dash of Spice, who was off the track for about 2.5, 3 years. The road back to recovery. He's had a couple of runs this season at Newmarket and Ascot. I just thought he looked slightly up against it in this race. He's been back. He was full teens early. He's into 10s now. What can you tell us, Sil?
And he ran a brilliant race and his first debut when he came back this year at Newmarket. And, you know, I thought myself, I said, this is a player next time. And he just flopped at Ascot. I was so disappointed in him. And he had his head sideways, and he's a horse, he has his shoes in the past. But he just didn't run his race. And I think he's better than what the market suggests, but he's a funny horse, and the day you think he's gonna win, he runs bad, and the day you think he got no chance, he goes there and wins probably, But he was disappointing last time. I hope he can find his form in this race, and but I wouldn't say he's not out. He's not out the box, He's there in the mix, but I can't say he goes there and win, But he got his chance at the same time, and I think Williams' horse, the top horse, got a very good chance with Ben Kurtz. Beyond Fly.
Fly, yes. Sort of 16-20 to 1 regular field. That's what we like, Sil. Big prices. Bill, what can you tell us?
Yeah, I thought, funny enough, Zabeel Champion is a worthy favourite. Mark Johnson's horse. Ran in snatches a bit at Goodwood last time, and then over a mile and a quarter, and kind of looked well beat, and then ran on and looked crying out for the step up in trip. Tries the trip for the first time. He looks the obvious one. He's a 3-year-old. He gets over a stone from the top one, Byron Flyer. The only negative with him is the price. He's a 9 to 4 chance. He's a bit skinny. I'd take him on at the prices. The two I like at big prices, I like the Johnson second string. His horses have kind of hit form this week already. King's Caper. He showed that his return was not far away last time. I thought him around 10 or 11 to 1 was a decent each way. And then if they go a good clip, which I'm sure they will do, there's a horse here of Mick Shannon's called Cooman that Ocean Murphy rides, who's around 14 to 1. Now, I thought he was given a fair bit to do last time and wasn't suited by the lack of pace at Ascot. And he's got some really good form in Dubai on decent ground. And if the ground dries out a bit, I thought Cooman around 14 or 16 to 1 was a solid each way, Brett.
I like that. You put up Mark Johnson second string, and Sills put up Ian Williams second string. I like that. Looking a bit further down the card, not looking for the obvious. Right, the 2:15. No ride for you, Silv. One of my favourites runs in this, Naef Road. Nothing but consistent. Any horse that follows home Stradivarius, it's got to be pretty handy. He's not a favourite though. Enabar is favourite. Bill, worthy favourite given the performance at Goodwood?
Enabar?
Yeah.
Not very much so. It's only a smallish field, but it's
and it was at Goodwood, wasn't it? It suited him though.
Yeah, this is a really trappy race. Naef Road is the obvious one on the form book. Problem with Naef Road is he's got 2 really bad runs at York, which kind of puts you off. Admittedly in decent class, but was kind of tailed off behind Logician. And, he was well beaten by Telecaster in the Dante a couple of years ago, but it just doesn't seem to fire for whatever reason at York. Now, he may turn that round, but that comes with a squiggle. Enbahar, she's rock solid. I mean, she's probably the obvious one, but
She's really well punted at Goodwood. I know it was only a small field, but they knew that day. She must have won 3-4 lengths going away at the end as well.
yeah, she's got plenty of talent. You know, Dashing Willoughby looks to have turned the corner. You can make cases out for him. The three at the top of the market are all going to be well kind of supported. I was just half tempted, if it drifts a bit, to give a chance to Eagles by Day, the David O'Mara horse. It was fourth at Goodwood behind Stradivarius, went up to this kind of class, but you know, he's got some decent York form. Beat Communique over 1 mile and 6 on good ground. I just thought in a muddling affair, Eagles by Day could just outrun his price. I expect him to drift a bit more, and I'd probably go with him tentatively, then get sucked into the front lot.
If you could jump on oneself, Nayef Road.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think Andrea just have to make more use of him. And he's a horse, he likes to travel a bit freely. And I think if Andrea has the race in mind to win from 2 furlong, you know, I don't think it's going to happen. But if he stretches the field from turning home, if he appears to be second or leading, and I think that's the ideal. To me, he's the best horse in the field.
Yeah, I mean, funny, just on that was part of my reasons for thinking that Eagles by Day might get drawn into it, because with Hold in the field and also Nayef Road, if they go really hard, they could easily come back to the field. And I just that was the Eagles by Day angle, just to be a closer potentially in a race that could be run too fast.
Yeah, but he's going to ride now. Ryan Moore rides him. Ryan Moore wouldn't set up the pace for nobody, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's, I mean, if he's in front, Andrea can press the lead a bit sooner, you know. But if he not, he have to do his own work from the front, you know. But
listening to this, the way it's going to be run, etc., it makes you think even more how annoying there's 7 runners, not 8, doesn't it, Bill?
Yeah, it really
Do you know what I mean? There's like closers. There's stuff that's going to come past beating horses. You think you're going to pick up your prize money, and that not having that third place is a real killer for the punters.
Yeah.
Right, let's move on to the 3:45 maiden stakes over 7 furlongs. So you ride Encounter Order for Ishmael Mohammed. Never been to a racetrack before. Purchased for 60,000 guineas. This is for you to enlighten us and tell us he's a superstar, and that we're getting an opportunity before everyone else knows.
Yes, well, I'm in a newcomer, and it would be quite interesting, you know, get a ride for Ishmael, and he doesn't throw me many rides, and every now and then I get on one. But I think it will be hard to beat Gosden, and I think Gosden is the horse come to the race in form, and his horse is on fire. I think everybody have to ride to beat him.
Yeah, Tal Lead you're talking about.
Yeah, Tal Lead second in, Bill, 3-1. You've got a strong favourite here for Charlie Appleby, Naval Crown.
Yeah, well, Maximal doesn't run. He would have been my selection here, Maximal. I thought that was a good run at Newbury on his debut, but he doesn't take his chance. It's the Convivial. It's one of the hottest maidens of the season. You know, there's lots of good horses in here. There were lots of reputations. Andrew Balding's Rushmore had a big reputation before he bombed out.
I was going to say they left it behind that.
Yeah, so he must have been showing something. Towlead ran well on his debut, and Naval Crown is the most experienced of these. It's a really hard, wide open race. I wouldn't have a strong view. Naval Crown probably sets the bar pretty high, but it's the old cliche, watch the market.
I was going to say, of all the races, that's the one to watch the market late, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, the 4:15 Fillies handicap, mile 2.5 furlongs. You ride Angel Power still for Roger Varian. He's in good nick. Second last time at Goodwood. Nothing but consistent. Every chance. Sort of 9-2 second favourite. You'd be desperate if it was out of the frame. I think she can go very close.
Absolutely, yeah. She done nothing wrong so far. She got beat. She won her race in the last 2 starts. She got beat, but she's been consistent. And to me, the only dangers there is the stablemate Roger Varian. he's number 5.
Waliak.
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 Yeah, I
You were
can't
a big
pronounce
fan
it.
of that before Goodwood, weren't you, Bill?
Yeah, she's and Ascot. I mean, she's very good.
Yeah, she's good, and I think, and you know, it all depends how the race panned out. But York is very hard. You know, I think the best horse always win at York because it's such a long straight and it's a very open track, and they always race to the middle. So I think, you know, in this race, and I just hope my filly running consistent and, you know, could get the head in front. But it's a tough race. It's a trap race, this one.
She's never been out the 3. You've got 8 runners, perfect dead 8, 9-2, 5-1, money back if you're second or third, Bill. Bomb proof?
Yeah, I mean, Angel Power should run really well. I mean, I think the just the way that if you look at their ratings, I mean, race filly at the top, you know, she's rated 101, so she's got to carry 9-2. It's going to be a hard ask to give nearly a stone to some of these below her, like Waliak, and also like Marcus Tregoning's filly Asiaf. She stays, you know, because it might be hard work out there. She's a definite stayer. She just got reeled in over a mile and a half last time. She would be the most obvious winner to me, Asiaf. His stable continuing good form, and I thought it was a wide open race. But I thought Angel Power, Waliak, Asiaf, you can make cases for all of them, but I probably lean on Asiaf at this point.
Right, okay. And the lucky last of 450, you team up with Sir Michael Bell, Sylv, to ride for the Queen. He can definitely have a word with her about getting that knighthood, I would have thought, in the winner's enclosure after you get Cloud Drift up in the last. 20-1
Yeah,
chance.
so, yeah, it's not the ideal. Like, you know, it's carry low weight, but you know, that's the only advantage I got in the field. You know, I think it's a tough race, but she carries low weight, and I hope I can be pleased for the Majesty. You know, and it's nice to ride in, you know, exposing horse, like, you know, especially when it's for the Majesty. So it's a, you know, it's nice. I'm happy to ride, and then it's Africa's got low weight. I have to waste all day for that ride, you know.
Yeah, eight stone 2 means no breakfast. I mean, he's up a little bit. He's up. I think he was up £6 for the win at Leicester, and then up another £3. So life's a bit tougher.
Yeah,
but he's in form. I suppose that's a good side.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. You know, and I think, you know, he gone up in class, but he carries low weight, and so, you know, he might have got a chance each way there.
Yeah, I mean, the interesting one there is obviously a horse you know well is Finest Sound, who will probably be favourite for the race, who ran so well to chase home Calusi at Ascot. And then
I was going to say 5-1 favourite, but I really thought it'd be shorter than 5, I must admit.
Yeah, well, it was a bit disappointing when you rode him at Newmarket last time, but you felt that run may have just come a bit too soon after Ascot, didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I mean, he still looks like a smart prospect if he repeats that form. And the other one I was going to ask you about, Sylv, is obviously Visionary, the top one, who had a huge reputation for Mark Johnson last year. You know, people were talking about this being a kind of possible Guineas contender at one point. We haven't seen him yet this campaign, but you know, that first performance when he bolted up his debut, do we know much about him? He's supposedly
he was the talk of the weight room, like, you know, and before, you know, Joe used to think quite a lot of the horse, like, you know, and he used, you know, one day we was talking about, and he mentioned about the horse. So, but obviously he has been disappointed to me, you know, he hasn't really turned up. So, yeah. But I mean, it's a trappy race like that one, Bill. You know, it's a very tight handicap. It's a lot of horses with low weights, you know.
Yeah. It is trappy, and it's a hard ask for him. But I was looking. I kept coming back to Visionary because the interesting thing for me about him was his best performance last year was his first start, obviously after a break. But that was his first start, was his best performance. And then when we all kind of crab his form, when he was beaten behind Pinatubo, we know how good he is. And he was only a neck behind Raw Lytham in the July Stakes and Platinum Star, and it's, you know, he wasn't beaten far. But the last run, the Doncaster run, which everyone labelled as a big disappointment when Frankie rode, he was only beaten a length or so. But Mollatham, obviously, we saw how good he is, and then Wichita nearly won a Guineas. You know, Berlin Tango was good as well. I mean,
Bill, if it all goes wrong, Bill, you can work in sales. You've convinced me.
Yeah,
You've convinced me here.
You can never rule out Mark Johnson's horse, but he hasn't been out, you know.
Yeah, he hasn't
So-
been. Yeah,
So
I agree. I just for me, if he was a double figure price, and we'll see whether he is a double figure price, I definitely play Visionary. And the other one I thought was better than he's showed so far is that Magnetized Roger Varian horse off 8 stone 3. This was a horse that was a bit disappointing last time. At Goodwood, but if you can forgive him that run, that maybe he didn't stay a mile and a quarter. He's dropping back to a mile, and he was a bit better the previous time. I just thought Magnetized might go well, so I take Visionary and Magnetized.
I think everyone has to back Visionary now. You totally convinced me, Bill. All the punters get on 8-1. If you back it and I back it, it will surely drift as well. End the day with a nice 10-1 chance. But Sylv, seriously, in the Nunthorpe, all the best of luck. Get out there now, do your rain dance. We hope for plenty of rain overnight. I hope to see you surge clear late on.
absolutely, yeah. No, thank you very much.
Good luck to you.
Good luck. Cheers, Bill. Thank you.
Thank you.